Good morning, all, depending when you're watching this. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, Out of Voice Radio, and it's time for another Lightning Type GX. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. In the past kind of 3 days, this will be the fourth GX we've looked at, and the third Lightning type. We looked at Thunderous GX. It's really bad, but check out the video. I'd be delighted. Just a couple of hours ago, we looked at Zero Aura GX, that I actually really like for a number of reasons. And now it is the turn of Zekrom GX. And I'd like to say that there aren't going to be any more Lightning type GXs revealed in the next couple of days, that we're going to have a little bit more variety. But apparently, over in Japan, they're on a Lightning Pokemon GX high. So let's just ride the wave, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just ride the wave. This was sent to me by the lovely Antoine Boulay over on Twitter. Lovely, lovely man. And he gave me a translation as well, so big up to the lovely Antoine Boulay. Now, a quick note here. These are not coming out in Sun and Moon 7A as Zero Aura is. The regular art is going to be given as a box promo for people who buy Sun and Moon 7A. And then the full arts, the two that are on the screen at the moment, they are going to be prizes in special draft tournaments. So to be blunt, these are not going to be the easiest cards to get hold of. In the UK, US, Europe, etc., I imagine they're going to be promo cards. And I believe we've already had a Zekrom GX box announced. So the big deal here, of course, is that it's a lightning Pokemon, so it's weak to fighting, which means it's weak to Buzzwole. And Buzzwole, with a Beast Energy, admittedly one per deck, and a Choice Band, and a Diancie Prism Star, will be doing 220 damage. Sounds quite bad, right? Here's what's even worse. Buzzwole with a Beast Energy and a Choice Band, and weakness, will be doing 180. And Zekrom has 180 HP. So even if you don't have Diancie Prism Star, Beast Energy and Choice Band will be an easy one-hit KO for a single energy on a Zekrom, while also doing 30 to the bench. And Buzzwole ain't going nowhere after rotation, ladies and gentlemen. Beast Ring will ensure that it stays around and stays good. So that doesn't mean we can't play Zekrom, but it means it is going to have to be very, very good indeed. Now, good news is it's got a resistance to lightning, which is quite nice, but Duskmane the Crowsman will still get a one-hit KO. Maybe my boy Registeel's going to come around and be good. Otherwise, terrible weakness and kind of irrelevant resistance. Then we have a retreat cost of 3, which is very, very high and well out of range of a skateboard. And the fact that you are hitting weakness on Ho-Oh, which is quite nice, but that really is about it. And we essentially have very bad basics, meaning we are going to need some good attacks. The good news is the first attack is actually good, or at least it's almost good. 1 colorless energy, 10 damage. If the defending Pokemon is an EX or a GX, this does 60 more damage. Now 70 damage for a single energy, nice. Especially when you add in Choice Band and weakness against something like a Ho-Oh. And that's a one-hit KO on a Ho-Oh for a single colorless. Oh no, wait. Don't apply weakness. I did have it on the screen from the beginning, so I'm not just trying to trick you here. What I'm saying is, if this hit for weakness, single energy, Choice Band, one-hit KO on something like a Ho-Oh, phenomenal attack. But you're not hitting for weakness. Having said that, it's still a really good attack. Because you're still hitting 100 damage for a single energy against an EX or a GX with a Choice Band. That's good. That's a 2-hit KO on a Buzzwole, that's a 2-hit KO on a Ho-Oh, that's a 2-hit KO on a Lapras, etc. Now, there are some bigger Pokemon like Zoroark that you will not be one-hit KOing, but the reality is that most of the good Pokemon at the moment have 180 or 190 HP. And if you're against something like a Tapu Lele, and let's face it, Tapu Lele's played in basically every deck, you only actually need Choice Band for one of your attacks here to get a 2-hit KO. 100 plus 70, 170, off you go. This is a really nice attack. And if this was on a Pokemon that had a good weakness or no weakness, it would be crazy good. Because what you would basically do here is take advantage of this, using stuff like Max Potion and Ace Roller, and just hitting 100 over and over again. Imagine if this was on Tapu Bulu. Now, the Tapus at the moment, at least all the GX Tapus that we have, don't have a weakness. So your opponent will be struggling to one-hit KO. It would be possible, but difficult. 100 damage, single energy, and then just keep using Max Potion, Ace Roller, and healing out. It would be brilliant! But there's two things that's bad about this attack. Firstly, you're not hitting weakness. Boo. But that's not the worst thing, right? Because you're still doing 100 for one energy. But this is where the weakness of fighting really comes in. If you're not being hit for weakness, I love this. If you are, ugh. Now, the second attack here, lightning, colourless. You do 80 damage, but then you flip 2 coins, and you do an extra 60 damage for each heads. This hits some decent numbers. So if you get a double heads here, you're hitting 200 damage, which will get all of those Pokemon we talked about wanting to KO. Then, of course, if you had a choice band, you're up to 230. There's your Gardevoir GX, your Greninja GX, etc. But even if you only hit 1 heads here, that's 140 with a choice band 170, down goes Tapu Lele. And of course the customary mention here of Victini from Guardians Rising, which will allow you to reflip those coins, meaning that if you don't get the 1 or 2 heads you want, you can get yourself another go. But it's lightning, colourless. That's expensive, ladies and gentlemen. I initially misread this as lightning, colourless. And my reaction then was, well, I'd rather have Zero Aura's main attack. Zero Aura's main attack, 2 lightning, 1 colourless, 160, can't attack next turn. But you guarantee the numbers. Zero Aura with a choice band will KO Buzzwole, will KO Ultra Necrozma. And the problem here is that if you flip the right number of heads, you'll get a KO. That's not the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's not as good. And then you're left with this ridiculous lightning, colourless attack cost. Now, the good news is we've still got Magnezone, and we've still got Raikou, and you can still use Vikavolt. But we've lost Electrode, we've lost Max Elixir to the rotation. So you end up with this really expensive attack that's also flippy. I like the first attack on Zekrom. I think I've made that pretty gosh darn clear. And if you're playing it anyway for the first attack, there will be games where this second attack is good. But in terms of the main attack here, in terms of trying to get one-hit KOs, Zero Aura is better. Plus, it's got a nice ability and 10 more HP. There's no real reason to use this as a big attacker over Zero Aura. This main attack here is pretty bad. But I do quite like the GX attack. Now, it's got the same ridiculous cost lightning, colourless, which we don't like. 200 damage, and it goes through any effects on the defending Pokemon. So it's this shred kind of attack that we've seen on a million Dragon Pokemon over the years, and most recently on something like Dialga GX. And this could actually be really useful. I mean, one of the biggest uses here is Dawnwing's Necrozma, a very popular tech in Malamar decks which are in the process of taking over the format. And because these Malamar decks play lightning energy, Dawnwing's Necrozma gets to use Moon's Eclipse GX. 180 damage and essentially has immunity next turn. Now, most decks, when face down with that, go, right, let's hope I can draw into a Guzma so that I can attack the bench. And if you can't, you're left just using a setup attack or just putting some in the active you don't mind giving your opponent a free hit on. It's not an ideal scenario. But if you're playing Zekrom, your opponent attacks with Dawnwing's Necrozma, and then they probably get a KO, but then Zekrom can just come up and get a KO back. That is incredibly handy, and I like it a lot. If I can get the energy on. And we're back to this problem of lightning, colourless. Even if we had Electrode, Max Elixir, etc., and we could go energy for the turn, Max Elixir, Electrode, and get this going in one turn, I still wouldn't be a fan of this. If you're playing a Magnezone deck and you can attach as many energies you like during your turn, okay. I think then we've got a decent shout at this. But honestly, outside of that, I'm not loving it. I love that you can go through effects of attacks, but the attack cost here is expensive. The main attack is just bad. The GX attack here is very useful, but oh my goodness, it's expensive. And the first attack doesn't hit for weakness. There's a lot to not like about this. But you can hit 100 with a choice band for a single energy. And it's a colorless energy, so it can go into any deck. And it's one energy, so if you go second, you can do this on your very first turn. And I like this. I like the first attack. I like that you can use Ace Roller and Max Potion to heal up when you use it. I think it's really good. Yeah, you're weak to Buzzwole, but just don't play it down if you're facing against a Buzzwole. I think this is a really good tech in a number of decks, and for that reason, I'm giving it 3 Wassies. It's not a great card, and I do not like the main attack or the GX attack. I mean, I do like the GX attack, I just hate the cost. But I am a big fan here of the first attack. I think it does decent damage and can fit into a number of decks, so a 3 Wassie card it is. But if you disagree with me or agree with me or want to say hello or tell me how you're spending your Sunday off work, or if you're working, let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do just that. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.